Really bad thunderstorms yesterday because there were some doozies. If you look out near Sylvan Beach, Andrew, gigantic, huge trees were toppled last night. Did you see any of that?
I saw
yesterday afternoon, technically.
The outskirts of the storm when Dallas and I had played volleyball yesterday, and we were kind of like, all right, we got to get this game along because we were seeing lightning
it was coming
over the place.
We didn't get a lot of rain, at least where we are. Meanwhile, while we're complaining about this, it hit actually 90 degrees. Christine was 132 yesterday in Mississippi. Yeah. And here we are.
It rains here and then cools off. And
well, you know, it's kind of that's what this summer has been like, if you think about it. We go really hot. It's like a cycle. And it's interesting, too, to watch this cycle. That is the way these thunderstorms are coming up. They're coming in a northeast fashion, skipping Syracuse and kind of just clipping Sylvan Beach and coming on through into our area. They're complaining in Syracuse they haven't had rain for weeks. The lawns are brown. It's just hot. But we're getting this where it heats up to near 90. Then the thunderstorm comes through. The cold front comes through. Temperatures plummet. And then we're back, and we kind of slowly grind back up into the 90s again, and it happens all over again. Yeah, it's kind of. I mean, it's gonna be cooler today. We'll be in the lower 80s today.
It was interesting too watching the storm come in. Where I was, we didn't get hit really hard, but even on my phone, my app was aware of this. Like it went from 89 to 81 in the course of like 10 minutes as the storm came in. It really got cooler. We got a few raindrops, but it really wasn't anything that bad. But you could kind of hear some thunder off in the distance.
Okay, so some interesting stuff out there. And again, if you see some of those pictures from the Sylvan Beach area, outside Sylvan Beach, it was really pretty bad. Some big trees just kind of taken right out of the ground.
If anyone has photos, please submit them to us. You can do it on our Facebook page or email news@WIBX950.com. We'd love to share those with the audience.
I feel like I blew it last night. I didn't realize, but the Powerball is up there over $300 million. And I didn't play my numbers, which could have been winning numbers. Just terrible.
It's a good thing you didn't. You saved yourself $50, right?
Probably did. I don't know that anybody won. Biggest news in sports this morning is there's really nothing going on except for the ESPYs were last night.
I didn't watch. Did you watch?
No. But I saw Brianna, what's her name? Brianna Stewart from the Syracuse area. She won, as you might expect. And she's calling for equality in gender equality in sports. And, Christine, that is it's really a big deal. Considering when you look at the amount of money, for instance, the women's soccer team makes versus the men's soccer team, and then one would say, well, listen, come on. That's like comparing the NBA to the WNBA. NBA makes a ton of money. WNBA doesn't make anywhere near the kind of money that the NBA makes. But the Women's Soccer League and the women's soccer team is like a big moneymaker.
It's more popular than the men's in the U.S. at least.
Yeah, more popular than the men's soccer team, and it pulls in far more endorsement money. It's not even comparable, yet the women don't make anywhere near what the men make. So that was her take on the whole thing last night. And, Christine, what do we know about this brawl that happened the other night in Ilion? It seemed like over 100 people. They're coming short of saying kids. But it does seem like they might be on the younger side. But it was a brawl over, and it happened near the entrance of Remington Arms. What do we know this morning?
Right, we know that several police agencies had to break up the fight. It took place on Tuesday, and as of right now, I think there are charges only for one or two of the, I'm going to say teens involved in the fight.
Yeah, but they're really not saying that, though. Have they said it's young people at this point? I know there are some.
16-year-old has been charged.
Okay, and there are some underage. Well, that would be your 16-year-old. So the names are not out there. I find it interesting, though, that they didn't call it a fight with students or with high school or college age kids. But I think when you look at the ages, I guess that's kind of what it was. That's out there this morning. Which I don't know. You get the hormones are going. I don't know. They had police agencies come in from all over the place. we're trying to find out what we can, and hopefully we'll have somebody on to talk about what they're calling a large brawl. Fireworks now legal in Oneida County. Well, not right now. You can't buy them right now. I'm assuming in Mississippi they're legal, right?
Yes.
Yes, okay. They're probably legal year-round there.
I think 3-year-olds sell them on the corners.
I think they do. They use them instead of the kids coming out with candy bars to raise money for the school programs. They bring M80s and bottle rockets. So here, though, Oneida County missed this latest run, the 4th of July run, because it now becomes legal and by the way, the override of Pacenti's veto on this. Pacenti vetoed it, the county executive, and which prevented them from passing it for this 4th of July. So that means that until New Year's Eve, and I think it's December 27th or something like that through January 2nd. So it's basically the New Year's holiday and the 4th of July holiday. But after July 5th, you can't buy them, and we wait for the next season to come. So come New Year's Eve this year, there will be cracking and booming in the ground displays. It'll be fireworks time here. Oneida County has finally legalized that. And then the other story that I thought was interesting, Schumer is boasting, not that he was able to shake a record number of hands at the Boilermaker and high-five people, boasting over the fact that New Air has been extended for another 3 years. That is the testing that goes on out at Griffiss for the unmanned aircraft. And that's a big deal, Christine, that this has been approved by the Senate and the House. The president still has to sign it, but it's a big deal because it secures that for Griffiss for the next 3 years.
That's right. And Richard Hanna had talked about that, I think, over the weekend because it was passed last week on the House side. And, you know, we can't take it for granted. Griffiss is only one of 6 sites around the country where this is done, and it's a pretty impressive thing. You and I had gone over there to look at some of the stuff that was done, and it is high tech. It is going to affect the way things are done through the rest of the country in terms of not only unmanned vehicles, but drones and things like that. And they're also testing not only the technology, but, you know, proposing the legislation that's going to govern these things. So It does have wide-ranging implications for everyone.
If you saw yesterday, Britain now has a new prime minister. And who is the woman and I know, Christine, you're a big Game of Thrones fan. Who's the woman on Game of Thrones that's one of the part of the Night's Watchmen? She's the big woman that's protecting the female there.
Bree.
Is that she's really, really tall, really, really large?
Yes.
This is
Brianna Tarr.
This is Time, the new prime minister of Great Britain. Theresa May. We call her T-May for short. She got down on her knees in front of the Queen yesterday and was still taller than the Queen. Did you see that? On her knees. Look at the photo. I'm telling you it's true. On her knees, she's taller than the Queen.
Wow.
She's a very large woman.
The woman in Game of Thrones, her name is Gwendolyn Christie.
Is
that the actress's name?
That's her real name.
Yes.
And her character name is what?
Is Brienne.
Okay. All right. Well, she's big and
oh my gosh, you're right.
Christine, on her knees, she's taller than the Queen.
I didn't notice that.
It is incredible. I couldn't believe it. I thought they'd done some sort of a trick photography or something. It's crazy. Here is Christine Bellino with an update on the news here for Thursday.